radio.penygh.com. That is our website. To make this easier, if you want to catch up on our episodes after it has already aired, you can use any of these platforms, or you can download our app. You can just go to Google Play Store or Apple Play Store, whichever Play Store you have. Even Huawei Play Store, you can just download Penny Radio there. So, yes, what am I saying? Anyway, so today's episode, we are going to talk about financial freedom and investments. That's a maybe I'm starting them to do. And then we are going to have my guest speak to us about that. I'm not an expert in that area, so we got an expert. And the expert is none other than our very own Dominic Asuma, who is the CEO of PenyGh. You can see today I'm repping the PenyGh top to like you know what I'm talking about. So Dominic, welcome to today's episode of Tell Me About It.
Thank you.
It's been like forever since you've been on the show. Priscilla keeps on asking, where's Dominic? Where's Dominic? Everyone keeps on asking, where's Dominic? And today we have Dominic here, but as a guest, not as a normal co-host. We have Dominic as a guest here.
I've missed everyone.
I believe
Home, so
yeah.
I'm back home.
Thank you for coming back home. You're always always welcome to TMAI, where we basically talk about everything and nothing. I don't even know what they'll take home today because we're going to talk about everything and nothing. So today we are going to talk about financial freedom and then investment. And since I am no expert in that area, I decided to get the expert to get us talking and tell us about something. So I'm going to ask some very questions that our listeners and I personally would also want to know. So the very first one is, when can one say that they are financially free?
All right. So thank you once again, and I'm happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
this feels different. It's like,
yeah,
hello, you're welcome. Thank you.
Once I'm with the hosts, I need to play by the rules. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you once again. Let me try adjusting my microphone.
The microphone.
Yeah. All right. So to be financially free, it means that let's start by letting people know what it means to be financially free, and then we can.
I missed that point.
Yeah, and then we can basically say who is financially free.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to start on this note. Most people live by other people's rules, not their own rules. Okay, so when they want to say they are financially free, they basing it on what people think of them or what people see of them, but not their own rules.
Okay.
But being financially free means that you have enough cash on you, money. The one we say pocket money.
Oh, okay.
You have enough of that. You have enough savings. You have enough financial investment that can take care of you for a lifetime.
Okay. Then you can never be financially free. Because from what you're saying, it means that you have to attain a certain amount of wealth for you to be determined as financially free. However, I thought probably being financially free meant you are dependent on yourself and then you don't owe any debt. That is my idea.
Exactly. That is why I used enough.
Okay.
So enough of all those means that you don't depend on anyone. When it comes to your feeding, you don't depend on anyone if you want to buy anything. But then it should be on your own terms, not on anyone's terms. So to say back to your question, to say that someone is financially free, it means that the person is content with what he or she has and that he or she can provide for himself.
Okay, I get it. So you talked about savings and then you talked about investment. What is the distinct difference between both of them? Because I'm going to save, I'm going to invest. it's usually used simultaneously. So I want us to be able to draw the line between what savings is and then what
investment?
investments
All
are.
right. Okay, so I want to use these series to explain.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
One, the period, the returns,
Mm-hmm.
the risk.
Mm-hmm.
When I say the period, what I want to say is, when it comes to savings,
Mm-hmm.
is for a shorter period of time to meet a particular need at the shortest possible time. But when it comes to investment, although we have short-term investment, if you're comparing investments to savings, investments have long-term ideas, in the sense that if you are saving, okay, you are setting some kind of money aside, some money that you say is leftover, some money that you are not touching, you are not, for emergency situations. So when the emergency happens, you run to that money that you've set aside. That is
Okay.
the savings. But when it comes to investments, it is, say, buying some assets, okay, setting some money into getting an asset, not a liability. Most people say, oh, we are saving, we are investing, and they are buying liabilities. In this, we're talking about asset, something that in the long term you want to profit from. So the period wise, investments are longer than savings. And then in terms of risk, savings are low risk things that you do. Let me use this as an example. When you're saving, it means that you're saving at a bank,
Mm-hmm.
or either you're using your susu box or something. But if you save at a good bank, a recognized bank, okay, the chances of risking your money is very, very low. You
Okay.
don't lose your money easily. But in terms of investments, if you do not choose your investment packages wisely, you can lose everything within some seconds. And the risk in investment is so high than that of savings. And it's because of this last point, the returns. When you're doing savings and you're saving at the bank or savings and loans, whatever, the percentage that you're getting on as a profit is very, very low. I think Ghana, the highest I've seen is about, is it 12.5% at the bank?
Yeah, I think that
12.5%.
was it EcoBank or something like
What,
that.
yeah, one
Or
of those
Stanbic
banks.
Bank. It was EcoBank or Stanbic. I also saw 12.5%.
Yes. But in investment, you can choose packages that have higher returns, like the rates, some 50, 70, some go as far as 150, 200%,
Okay.
some more than that.
So
So
when we talk about investment, then
mhm.
which one would you recommend for the average? Should I call it average citizen? Because there's savings and then there's investment. And from your explanation, it seems that saving is risk free, and then investment there seems to be a sort of risk for investments. However, there has to be something that we can, because I know that investment you have to probably invest or bring a chunk of money to be able to invest. So, what would you recommend for the average citizen to go in for? Should we go in for savings or should we go in for investment?
All right, so this is, I'll not say to the average, okay? Anyone who wants to invest, you should have some kind of money that you're investing with. So the first thing to do is to save and invest. Because if you don't have the cash by chance, oh, I accidentally bumped into this money, oh, I have this promotion and there's this back pay and I want to use it for something, I want to invest, it means that you need to work your way through getting the money before you invest. And working your way through getting the money, you need to set aside something for investment. So whether you are how do you say it, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you are middle income, whatever, if you want to invest, it starts from savings.
Okay, so
Unless you
it,
are fortunate to have some money in bulk that you invest straight away.
So
Yeah.
basically, we are recommended to have a blend of both of them.
Exactly.
Okay. So with the investments, there are types of investments that I know of. I don't know of the investments in Ghana. Usually, the things I read basically are out of the country. So there are types of investments that I know of. But when we talk about income as humans, or as a layperson, I think
Yeah.
even according to the country, or according to whatever it is it the labor, whatever it is, the minimum wage rate is when I checked, it was 300 and something Ghana cedis
In Ghana.
in Ghana. That is like, it means that a person minimum, a person by minimum or whatever is getting like $2 a day.
A day.
And then we are not being paid by hours and everything. So if I'm earning 300 Ghana cedis at the end of the month, that is like my active income. So with such an active income, I have to probably cater for my family, cater for my friends,
Sadly.
and then I have to definitely, I may get some passive income as one or two things that I'll get, or a semi income or something. So how do I have a balance in this country where my minimum wage is up to nothing? I may not even be able to save something out of it. So with such an amount, what do I do with it?
Okay. All right. So basically, though we're talking about financial investments,
Yes,
but
financial investments.
if you do not have the cash to invest, venture into that financial investment, there are other ways that you can invest
Okay.
to get that money. That's the passive income you spoke about.
Okay.
So if your active income is that small to save and invest with, you can invest your time, energy somewhere, your skill somewhere to get that passive income.
Okay.
Save that one and invest. And mostly when people hear of investment, they think you need to have a huge amount of money before you start investing. Okay, let me use Penny Media as an example, Penny Radio as an example. If you are a startup, okay, say you sell shoes, you sell pure water, and you want people to know about this, okay, but you're also looking at giving money to Penny Radio, of which you don't think is a bigger media, having bigger following, and so you're looking at it as a risk. So you don't want to. You think if I push money there in the name of getting my products known, I'm going to throw money away. But that is just one side.
Yeah.
Look at Penny Radio as a startup, and you yourself as a startup, and trying to invest into Penny Radio. Now, this kind of investment is a partnership.
It's a partnership, yeah.
But you do not know. It's a long-term partnership.
Yeah.
In the sense that maybe for now, only 5 people hear about whatever you're selling. You get it?
Yeah.
And then probably invested something small like 50 CDs a month or 100 CDs a month. And the returns you're getting is not that high. But what happens if Penny Radio becomes something big? You are the first partner they saw. When Penny Radio was at the bottom, you were faithful to Penny Radio. So now, if Penny Radio becomes very great, and they want to push someone, because they started with you, you've invested in that, and they shine with you.
Okay.
But that is something that in our setting we do not see it as something that is profitable. And that is why so many companies coming to Ghana, they don't get investors and they die off. It's because we are scared of partnership. So partnership is also a way of investing, knowing that you're giving your time, you're giving your energy, although you don't have the upfront cash to invest financially. That is one way. If you do not, your minimum wage cannot push you to invest. You can as well invest and earn some passive income.
Okay. Yeah. So if it's basically like if if you do not like your if you like your job but then it's not paying well, you can do something in addition to your job to be able to get a passive income to be able to invest. So it's more like you selling your time to get
Exactly.
something else. Okay,
Exactly.
interesting. So the next thing I want to ask is when we stocks. I want to talk about the stocks in Ghana. It also falls under investment.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about investments, we have the I think in Ghana the investment that is probably known very well as the banking. The banking
bonds, buying bonds,
bonds and everything. People tend to invest in those ones very well. And then now the cryptocurrency, I think even today it dropped by 50% or something like that. Yes, so that is the risk aspect you talked about with investment. What are the stocks and then those kind of things, investment like in Ghana? Because when we even talk about insurance, majority of Ghanaians, I don't have any statistics, but then from the people I've spoken to, you can see the majority of them
do not have
insurance.
Yeah.
They don't really value insurance as an investment. They don't value like funeral as an investment. They don't value whatever it is. The only investment when they talk about it is how they would be able to get. They don't know they're investing into their own education. Like
it's true.
Yes. So what are some of the investment plans in Ghana you would probably recommend to we citizens to go in for? Because so far the only investment that I checked out and then was quite attractive to me was Stanbic Bank.
Okay.
Because I'm not a high income person. I do not have enough. But then when I went, their investment plan was so cool that actually you can start with any amount, any amount you want. However, the amount you invest is the percentage you are going to get. So the more you invest, the more you get. So, and then as time goes on, you can add on. So let's say I start with 200 cedis the next month and I get 200 cedis, I can add on, and then that is the kind of investments you Stanbic. I think it's Stanlip. Yeah, that's the name, Stanlip part. And then it was quite attractive. So I want to know, apart from that I know of, I don't know of any other. What are some of the investment plans we can get ourselves involved in, and then
all right. So personally, keeping my money in the bank or buying bonds, for me, you just as you said, okay, that's what you've seen. But there's something that we're not paying attention to in Ghana, the commodity markets.
Okay.
Okay. So the beans, the rice, the maize, you are not a farmer. You are not into farming. Okay, but you've seen someone who loves farming, and the person is doing it on a small scale, and the person is a bit successful there. Can you invest there and get the returns? That's one side, the commodity market. Look at what commodities.
I think with the commodity markets, people usually invest in, should I call it goats or something, in
Gold.
the northern.
Exactly.
Northern region, goat and cows, and then like animals from the northern region. That is what I know is quite popular.
Exactly.
Apart from that,
there are lots of them. Cashew, people are investing into cashew. People invest in coffee, but now it has gone down.
Yeah.
People started investing in cotton, maize, rice, and now you can see that there are lots of local rice on our market.
Yes.
It's because people push their attention there and they invested. So on social media, you see some people talking about fish farming and making this, but they've never done any farming. It's because they've invested there and they need to market it so that they can get their returns. So the commodity market is one. And as you also said, most of the things you look out for are foreign based.
Yeah.
Yes. Investment, you can be anywhere and invest globally.
Okay.
Forex trading, so investing in the forex markets, the foreign exchange.
That one, how is that usually done? I've tried to understand it for like
so
forever.
Yes, okay, so it's more of like the stocks. Okay. People think that trading forex is more of a gamble, and trading stocks is a gamble. But let me tell you something. It's just like when MTN floated their shares.
Yeah.
I bought some of the shares, but then I bought a small amount, and at the end of the year, they give dividends.
Yeah.
That is one way you can also invest, buying of shares.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you see any company floating shares and you see that this company, the idea they're driving is something that has a future, you can buy some of the shares and be a shareholder. Although you don't have that much money to control the decision, you can be a part of it by buying few shares of it. So I bought into that MTN shares, and then later I saw that this thing Jumia is on the US stock market. So I started trading it. The first month they went on, I bought Jumia shares. The first 2 months it shot up, and I took my money back because yes, I didn't know what they've done to sustain it. So I took off the money and ran off. You get it?
Yeah.
So people think that trading the forex market, trading stocks is a gamble. This is it. The stock market, the forex market, that's the foreign exchange, is driven by economical data. Okay, so if
do I need to be okay? So I'm asking for like. So does it mean you necessarily need to have
be an economist
or be good at your maths to be able to invest or something?
Not really,
Okay.
but you need to understand the market.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if we want to go deep into it,
It will take forever.
yeah, we have the fundamentals.
Okay.
And then we have the technical traders.
Okay.
The fundamentals are those who listen to news. They look at, okay, what is the economical strength of this country, what is happening to their finances at this time, and then the technical ones are the ones who just look at history of the money. Okay, so at this point this money depreciated, so people will look at it in this same time. I'm sure it will. So let's now combine this with news around that area and see whether it will really drop. If you see that the currency will drop against a certain one, you buy that ones against the one that will drop. So it is not a gamble. But if you just look at it and say, okay, this thing, I think it will drop, and then you buy, that is what is happening to people with Bitcoin now. You said cryptocurrency, it dropped by 50%.
Yes.
Yes, I'm waiting for it to go low. That is what the big fish do.
But they are not willing to sell it to.
Exactly. It will drop. It is sinking now. And let me give you one example as well. You were saying that you don't have much money to invest.
Yeah.
But you have a little.
Yeah.
And you hear that, oh, Bitcoin is rising. That your little amount of money, because you hear that it's rising and everyone is buying, you gamble and you go and buy, and then it drops. Because yours is small, you are out of coins, you come to negative. But the big dogs, those with big cash, they are waiting for it to drop and they buy it up again. So once you are out of cash, now when it's dropping, you don't check again. It drops to the point where your money could have bought now. You don't have the money, you wasted it up there. The big guys wait. When it drops, they cash in big, and you see a shoot up, and then your mind comes, hey, the thing is rising again. Then your small savings that you have, you go and buy again, and then it drops. You're out of money. Big dogs buy. That is how the stock market works. That is how the cryptos work. And so you can be in Ghana and trade. You can be in Ghana and invest in cryptos. You can be in Ghana, invest in stocks. You can be in Ghana and invest in the foreign exchange. It is not a gamble. It is how you understand economical data. You understand the history of the currency. You follow how the country is doing in terms of economics, and then you can follow through and invest. But then when you invest, because of the risk, you need to really check what you're doing and invest wisely. So there are lots of areas you can invest in Ghana. First is the bonds that you talk of. You can buy bonds. You can look at the commodity market. You can look at the foreign exchange. You can look at the buying of real estate. The real estate.
Yeah, real estate.
Yes,
that is what I'm trying to.
People are investing into it but because we call them agents, you do not know. If you're looking for a room now, and then you call an agent, he has never built any house.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know the price of a bag of cement, but he's making it big there. Why? Because you say, I'll search for the room for you. You pay 10% of whatever amount you're going to use to rent. And then you know what they do? When he's taking you around to look for the room, he's charging you some amount, some 50 cedis, before he send you to look at the room. He knows that based on what you've asked him to find for you, you will never like this, but he will send you there to look at it because he has charged you. And before they even bring people to see, they've gone to see the landlord.
Yeah.
This your room, how much are you giving it for? Say 150. No, 150 dear, do it 250 because of his 10%. So people are making it big in real estate. People are investing into real estate in Ghana.
Yeah, I think with the real estate, even those who are full-time employers are actually investing.
Exactly.
I know of some people who are, that is what they do, and then they actually have a WhatsApp platform.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in charge of Medina, another person is in charge of this one.
Yeah.
So if someone wants, let's say, a house or like something or in Medina, the person just contacts and then they share the whatever it is. And
Sure.
then the next person. So it's more like a business that is going and that
Exactly.
is ruling.
Exactly.
Now. But when I heard of real estate, I wasn't looking at the agent aspect. I was looking at the building aspect.
The building. That one is also there.
Investing into the building.
The building. So I mentioned the agents because we're talking about a minimum wage now.
Sure.
You don't have that money.
Yeah, of course.
For this, you don't need a kubu to start.
Sure.
You don't need any. The only thing probably you need is a flyer or something that you share that I'm an agent.
Yes.
And then you look out for vacant places and then you share. So basically, people don't really need money to make money in Ghana nowadays.
You see, I think it's because we just do not know of some of the ways we can make money. Because we are usually crying for money. I need money. We do not have the money.
Yeah.
And then the little we have to, it just goes stream. Because one thing I've realized and noticed about money is that as you do not have the money, you are okay. Immediately your pay comes, the money is finished before it goes into your hands.
Exactly.
So before it comes, you have to plan and then know that, okay, I'm investing this amount into that amount, into that amount. So that even if it's finished, it gets finished, you know that you were able to do something quite meaningful with the amount. So another question I have is, what do you suggest as a way for us to, how do I put it? Like as a startup, what kind of investment plans or what kind of plans do you suggest we get yourself involved in? Because personally, I've been thinking of starting up my own something for like what year are we in? 2021.
Yeah.
2018, 2019, 2021. So it's been 3 years now, but I've basically never started because I keep on complaining. I do not have the basic something. But then if I even get the basic something, I'm like, where do I go from there?
Yeah.
What is my next point? Because what if I invest my basic something into my own startup and at the end of the day,
it fails
and it goes down the drill and then I get, let's say I take a loan, I start up and then it goes down the drill and then I fail and then I end up being in debt.
Okay.
What are some of the ways I can prevent being in debt as someone who wants to start up a business?
Okay.
Yes, and then
so there's a rule in investing, okay? In the forex markets, there's this golden rule. You don't invest money you can't afford to lose.
Oh, okay.
That's the basic rule. So if you're going to borrow money to invest, then you should know that what you're investing in is 100% sure thing
Okay.
that it will work.
Okay.
That is when you borrow to invest. Else, you do that passive income search thing. You get, there are a lot of things that you can do. Okay, first, whatever you plan doing, that startup you want to do,
Yeah.
is it just a passion? Is it something that people will be interested in?
Let's just say it's
Is
a
it-
passion people wouldn't be interested in.
People wouldn't be interested in. Then
Let
it
me
means
put it that way.
it means it cannot be sold. Anything that cannot be sold will never make you money. You
Basi-
only make money when you sell something.
So it all boils down to selling, because I know everything boils down to selling. Whatever
Exactly.
it is that you do boils down to selling.
So if no one is interested in buying it, you don't go into it.
Oh, okay.
So for me, my best advice to someone who wants to start his or her business is first try selling. Learn the act of selling before you venture into any business. Why? Because when you go to sell to someone, just try with pure water. There are some people basically will tell you trash just when you're selling. If someone tell you trash and it stops you from selling, you are not ready to go into your own business.
So since we are talking about selling, I've sold for 2 years.
Exactly.
I sold for 2 years before I started schooling, and then my issue wasn't about dealing with people, because definitely you come across the good, the bad, the ugly, the, what do you call it, whatever it is that you call it. But then one thing I noticed about people with selling was the money issues. There are some people who wanted to avoid money issues at all costs, so they would run at a loss, and then it was no fault of theirs. And then instead of arguing it out that it wasn't my fault, it just got missing or something like that,
Yeah.
to prevent the argument that would come up to them from their boss or whoever it is,
Yeah.
they put or they replace the money with the little amount that they have.
Exactly.
And then there are others who go all out to argue with their boss that it's missing, it's not my fault, and then all that. And I was the type that, oh, okay, 50%. When the person starts talking 50%, I'm at their channel. Then I just end up putting, because I'm like, it's a small amount.
Yeah.
But later I realized that a small amount can end up being. That was when I actually gave out 50%. I was selling something of 2 to the 50%. I gave out, and then when I was supposed to make an account,
Yeah.
I had to put in, like, I think 15 cities or 20 cities. That was when I realized that I had practically sold everything that day for 2 cities instead of 2 to the 50%.
Exactly.
So that was when I knew, I was like, I wouldn't make that kind of mistake to sell lower
Exactly.
again. So what happens to those people? Because sometimes it depends on the kind of bosses you have. So there are some bosses that are quite how do I put it? They'll be welcoming, and then when they're welcoming, you're able to tell them that, okay, this is what happened, and then the issues get solved. But then there are others where they find it difficult, or they will probably shout at you, or do whatever. So with the thought of you being shouted at,
Yeah.
you just replace
The money and
the
run
money
at a loss.
and run at a loss.
Exactly.
So with the whole thing, how do you blend blend selling or whatever it is with your character as a human and money issues? Because money in itself sort of disrupts or can disrupt a relationship with
Yeah. Yeah.
people. Yeah.
All right. So there's this thing I want to say. Charity work is different from business.
Okay.
Charity work is different from business. If you want to run an NGO, fine, but you don't mix that with business. So if you go out there, you sell, and you know that you lost this, but genuinely it wasn't your fault, but you must still be accountable to it, because your boss is not running a charitable business.
Organization, yeah.
You get it? But before trying to pay with your own money, you should let him understand what happened. There are some people who will tell you that, okay, the next time do it this way, because they probably might be more experienced in the work than you, in field work than you. So they will guide you so that you do not lose the next time. But if you do not mention it, it's a well, if you do not tell him and you always pushing your money and you always come to the office, he wouldn't know what is wrong, because you are bringing in the cash. That is what he's paying you for. And the money he is giving to you to take care of yourself, you are using it to take care of people. Remember, you are not giving your money to the company. You are giving it to the people you sell into.
Yeah.
So first, that is why I said, if you want to own your own business, be a seller first, to know what goes into it, because every idea to profit from it must be sellable. So you cannot go into business with that attitude of okay, I've lost this and I've used my money to replace it. You run at a loss. Because one thing about business is paying yourself first. When you start profiting, you pay yourself first. It's part of that will tell you whether you're making profit or not. And that is something that people do not realize. So you sell this for you buy this for 20 cedis and you sell it for 25 cedis. You've not calculated the transportation you used to go buy it, the sun you walked through in selling, and so you just added 5 cedis, and you think you've gotten 5 cedis. Probably you use some 2 cedis as transport. You bought water while selling, and then some headache comes in. So at the end of the day, when you strike everything, you don't have anything to pay for yourself. You pay yourself. You run at a loss. So you don't go into business with that attitude. So it's about being transparent. If your boss want to sack you because of that, let it go. Start something new. Else you kill yourself for someone to enjoy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Frank, and then he says, which one is safe, investing in bonds or the commodities? And which one offers great returns?
Okay, so he said bonds and commodities.
Yes.
I also want to add one.
Which one?
Yeah, I also want to add, okay, instead of just commodities and this, assets.
Okay.
And then the foreign exchange. That's the forex trading. In bonds, it depends on the rate they're giving you, that the financial institution is giving you. Look at the percentage if it's good, because the risk is lower. But in terms of commodity, it's a bit risky. What if you venture into it and let's say some pest infestation comes through that season, the weather is not favorable, you can lose everything that you invested in.
True.
And then the other thing that I said is the stock market, and then the foreign exchange. Those ones, the returns are very high, but you can also lose if you do not pay attention to what is happening around you.
So with those stocks and then foreign exchange, when we come down, how much can someone save to be able to start up in Ghana?
It depends. You can.
What's the minimum that someone can actually start?
Okay, so you can start with $1,000, $500, but you see, when you investing into the stock market with $500, okay, it's something you should look at the long term. Okay, so if you invest in $500, your returns will be very small, and it will take you a longer time to get what you invested, the profits back. Okay, but the choice of the asset you invest in depends on your risk capacity. How you able to handle risk.
I was coming to that. So
how you able to handle risk. So Frank, for me in Ghana, it's good to invest in the commodity. if you know the farmer, how good that person is, and how viable the soil is.
So it comes down to, or it boils down to we trusting the kind of investment we are doing, and the people who are behind
Exactly.
the investment. Because
Exactly.
you said something about MTN. You looking at the organization or whoever it is that you are going to invest in
Exactly.
before you
Exactly.
invest in. Okay.
Exactly. So for me, if you put all these, I'll venture into stocks and foreign exchange, the forex market.
Okay.
I'll venture because, and it needs time. You need time to study
So
what is happening around.
how long do you think we can look at? 5 years, 10 years? How long?
With stocks.
Yes, with stocks.
So it also depends on the kind of stock you
Invest in.
I said that there are short term and there are long term. There are medium term as well. So in the forex market, one currency pair. Let me use euro and dollar. I would have used Ghana cedis, but Ghana cedis is not on the forex market or on the stock market, because hey, if we send this our behavior there, the currency will crash in a second. There's one country, the day they went to stock market with their currency, the forex market, within 3 hours the currency crashed. And so in Ghana we cannot do that with this attitude. But in forex, if you want to trade the currency per se, euro, dollar, and you want to trade, you can trade the short term at the same time, short term, medium, and long term. The short term, there are lot sizes. Okay, you can say that I'm trading maybe 2 lots, and within 2 hours or 5 hours, when I see profits, I withdraw and move out. At the same time, I'm looking at 5 years, because I'm seeing that this currency will rise. Looking at the how they are building their economy, within 5 years their currency is going to be very strong. So I'll not touch this amount that I've invested. So when it's long term, you see a drop, it will rise, a drop, but it grinds up gradually, so that you have sound mind. You don't look at charts every second, and then we have the medium term, say 2 weeks, a month. So depending on how you can handle the risk and how much money you have would determine whether you go long term, short term. But then in choosing where to invest, you check your risk tolerance. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to talk about risk tolerance. So the question was, why is risk tolerance important in investment? That was the question. But before that, Frank says that low income earners and those without money at all can start with affiliate marketing. So would you want to answer this, or should I go?
Yeah, it's true. Starting with affiliate marketing is I've seen people do it here in Ghana.
Wait, I think we should go with the importance of risk market. Because the affiliate marketing, I have a question
on it. Okay,
on that as
okay.
Well. So why is risk tolerance important in investment?
It is because there's something called FOMO.
Okay.
We discussed that this morning in general life, but then in investment there's something called FOMO, fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. That is what is happening to people in cryptocurrency now. Okay, I remember some 3 years ago, was it 2 years ago, I bought some Bitcoin. When it rose a bit, I took the money off, and then it started dropping. When it was dropping, I know someone who was buying. When it was dropping, he was buying, and I did not buy. And before we realized, it dropped to somewhere $4,000 per coin, $4,000. And before we realized, it shot to $50,000. So if the person had bought, say, $500 in Bitcoin when it was at, say, $5,000 per coin, and it has now shot to 50,000. So multiply that is 100 by 50. 50 times 100 is 100,000. 100 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 times 100 that margin that it has rose to. You get it?
Yeah.
But my risk
Tolerance.
tolerance towards Bitcoin at that time was so small, so I lost out of it, and it shot to 50,000. And people saw that, hey, it has shot to 50,000. People started projecting into 80,000. People started projecting into, and then with fear of missing out, people said, hey, if I don't buy it and it rises to 80,000, I'll miss out this whole. And they started buying at 50,000, and now it's dropping. So it is very, very important to know how you can handle risk in terms of investment, because it will push you to either move out of investment quickly or enter at the bad time. So it helps in timing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the affiliate marketing, Frank said, I do agree with it, but then locally we can talk about the normal affiliate marketing, but the affiliate marketing I want to talk about is the online affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So should I call myself a blogger? Anyway, I have a blog.
Yeah.
And then usually when you read about blogs and how to, should I call it monetize it, the very first thing is either you get on Google AdSense or you get your blog on affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So you realize that it's quite important. But when you talk about affiliate marketing, how do you get yourself involved in affiliate marketing? Because let's say I want to affiliate myself with Amazon, but Amazon does not want to be affiliated with me.
Yeah.
Because of probably my blog has low quality, my blog has this one.
Yeah.
And when we come to the local sense, let's say I want to affiliate with a particular company or whatever it is, but then the company does not want to be affiliated with me.
Yeah.
When it happens that way, what are some of the steps that you as an individual can do to be able to match up to the other people you want to get affiliated to?
Okay. So you can do that indirectly. There's something called drop shipping.
Okay.
Drop shipping. Okay. So you want to affiliate yourself with Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon is not ready. But you've seen a certain product which is less costly.
Okay.
And then you look at it, and in terms of the pricing, and you compare shipping with it, you see that no, if I add shipping to this, it will be about, say, 100 Ghana cedis. But you've seen it on Ghana's market, it's selling around 250 Ghana cedis, 350 cedis, 500 cedis. What do? You advertise that product. It's a form of affiliate marketing, but it's indirect. You are doing drop shipping. You advertise that in Ghana. If people are selling it 500 cedis, you look at converting all those, and by the time it gets to you, is about 150 cedis. People are selling it 500 cedis. Then you reduce yours by say 50 cedis. You price yours at 450 cedis. People order, okay, and then you pre-order because yours is cheaper than this. They'll not put pressure on you to get it. You order it and then you sell. You get your percentage of it. Jumia is doing it in a way, okay, by referral. So when people buy under you, you get a commission. So you buy for the people in your accounts, and then you get the money. And then what you also saying is with the blogs, it has to do with, okay, so they will push an advert link in your blog, and then you see banners. Sometimes it irritates your viewers and visitors a lot when the ads are too much many, and if the ads are not too many, to the amount you're getting is very small.
Of course,
it's very small. So what do? So you look at advertising your blog post first to get that massive following, so that even if you're getting small, but then so many people are viewing ads, then putting the small together, you get something big. But if no one wants to affiliate with you, you can try drop shipping.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because when you look at blogs, if you have paid for a blog, you would know what I'm saying. You would usually have what's the name of that thing called? Oh God, what's the name? Anyway, you can have a store. God, even Facebook has stores now, so you can actually add your stores or whatever
Yeah.
it is to it. So there are actually so many ways we can earn right now, and then everything is like about selling, like you said.
Yeah.
You said. But if I continue to sell, like, sometimes selling, someone has to buy for you to be able to.
Yeah.
So what are some of the ways you can get or you can engage people to buy from you as a seller?
All right. So the first thing is packaging.
Okay.
Okay. No matter how horrible your product is, if you have the greatest of packaging, it will attract people.
Okay.
All right. And so the first thing is, if you have a nice packaging, your marketing becomes a bit easier, because the product itself is doing the marketing for you. The package will attract. And then when your product attract the people, personally, you have to do the talking. So the difference between marketing and sales is that marketing will attract. Sales is converting that attraction into money.
Okay.
Pushing people to do the buying.
Okay, so we are coming to an end of today's episode, and then our very last question is, please don't mind the here. Our very last episode, I've said it twice.
Yeah.
Our very last question is diversification. We have to be diverse, like we've talked about when it comes to selling or whatever it is. But then, what are some of the questions that we can ask ourselves, like, in order for us to before we invest or to be diverse or whatever it is? And then we pay taxes.
Yeah.
Income taxes, whatever it is that you find yourself, even when you're selling online, you pay taxes. Wherever you find yourself, you end up paying taxes. So how would we be able to be diverse and like strike a line between our taxes, our investments, our savings, whatever, like, because I watched a Korean, my listeners already know I'm a Korean freak. So I watched a Korean variety show, Master in the House, and then they were talking about stocks and what have you. And then the one who was teaching them actually had he drew this circle. He told them to draw a circle, and then they should divide it. They should divide their income or whatever it is, their taxes, and how much they're saving and whatever it is. So that was when the question popped into my mind. I was like, diversification, you have to be diverse, you have to do savings, you have to do this to be able to know that. You even have to invest in funeral plans so that when you die, someone wouldn't be like,
burdened.
And then you have to also invest in your retirement plan, because if you want to live longer, if you end up living long, you can't say you're going to die now. If you end up living long, what are the retirement plans you have for yourself? You have to invest in all those kind of things. So what is there, where do we strike a line between this, that our taxes are this, so that at the end of the day we are financially free? Like, where do we draw the line to be able to say, I'm doing all this, but then I'm still free, I still have enough, I'm not owing anyone, I still have enough to live off with my little income of
that you have.
All right.
So you remember when we started, I said being financially free has to do by your own rules. So you live within your means. If you keep on blowing the small amount you have, that's small, you complain, there's no work, there's no money in the system, my salary is small. But the moment you get it, you want to live big, you compare yourself to someone else. There's no way you can do all these things that we've spoken about. Okay, so it starts from your mindset, the way you spend. So that brings the difference between finance and money. Money is that physical cash, can be that asset, but then the finance is how you manage the money. So if you do not understand how you're managing the money and yourself, there's no way you can live a balanced life.
So there was something, that's why some people do get hurt. So I realized that if I'm very bad at doing my finances, I can actually get a financial advisor. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't even know if we have. Do we have financial advisors
In
Ghana?
Ghana, yeah, we do have.
Because
We do
with
have.
me, I just look. My financial advisor would probably be my dad because he was into finance and everything.
Exactly. So we have the formal and the informal. We have the direct and indirect.
And the way the informal, because I, my Korean whatever I listen to, that is where I got the info from.
Okay.
So with the financial what was I even saying?
You're talking about advisors.
So financial advisors.
Yeah.
So if I get myself a financial advisor to can I even pay the financial advisor with my
With your money.
interest?
Yes, some you know, you also need to look at exchange, okay? Exchange skills. You need to exchange your skills. You don't have the money. You know how to do a website. That one will want to manage your finances for you. The person probably will need a website. Why don't you do that exchange of skill and get that money?
Okay.
So there are lots of ways to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that was the very last question for today's episode. I hope we were able to learn something, if not one or two. I am taking some things home. Like, I feel like this is the very first, if not last, episode of TMAI where I'm taking something home, because basically when we come here, we blabber about everything and nothing. But today we got ourselves talking about finance. My mind is so full of like economics, this, that. Well, we've talked about a lot of things. You'd have to probably go and read through and then get to know more, This, we've talked about them, but then it's obviously not all. And I have this feeling you'll find it very difficult to continue to read or whatever it is. But if you have any questions, the comment section is available. And then our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is also available. So if you have any questions concerning the topic we discussed today, you can as well send them, and then we would gladly answer you. You can send them to mine with individual socials as well. As always, I don't know my individual socials, but then it's ACK Aqua, that is my name. So you find it anywhere it is. Thank you very much for tuning in to today's episode of TMAI. And thank you very much, Dominic, for joining me
welcome.
here on TMAI. I hope we get to do this more often.
Sure.
I'm glad we were able to discuss, and then I've been able to take off this. Like, it's been bothering. Let's just do. And then we just got to do it. Also, I'd like to apologize for missing out last week. I missed you guys very, 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 very much. But I had to take care of my mental health. It's very important, just like the physical health. So we've come to an end. For today's second segment, we didn't get questions from our listeners and viewers. So please make sure you send your questions so that we know. Your question can actually be the next question, the next big question we talk about next week. Who knows? Just send in your questions to us on all our social media platforms, and we'll gladly take them. Krasa Onalan Yogi Kaji. This is where we end today's episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. Adios. Bye bye. Annyeong.